young and you're not in your right path, like stuff is shown to you specifically to like make you realize and learn and to get onto your right path, you know, like, so I feel like any person goes through experiences and trauma and like stuff that they learn from. So any of those experiences are going to be showing them where they should be going and what path they should be taking, you know? So it's going to be different for everyone. Like mine was like the car accident and like other, you know, traumas, but everyone has like their own lessons that they have to learn to eventually understand that they need to go on the right path. And it could take longer than others and shorter than others. I don't know.
All right, welcome back to Hawaii Real, everybody. I'm your host, Ioke Ehu, and I want to send a shout out to Hawaiian Springs Water, our beverage host for this episode. Thank you so much. You can buy Hawaiian Springs Water direct from Amazon. The link is below. Have it delivered right to your door. It's yummy stuff. 7.7 alkaline. And this episode is brought to you by the Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce. The Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce's mission is to malama Native Hawaiians in business and commerce through leadership, relationships, and connections to economic resources and opportunities. The Chamber's programs and events are designed to facilitate connections and promote business growth, professional and economic development, and sustainability. The Chamber's membership is open to individuals, nonprofit organizations, and businesses of all sizes. To learn more about the Chamber and how you can join, visit the website www.nativehawaiianchamberofcommerce.org. So today I have brought on some awesome young couple, Kacey and Cal from the Compass Travelers, and he's starting a new business, Deep Blue Eco Tours.
Yep.
Deep Blue Eco Tours.
Nailed it.
I did.
Perfect.
But
Yes.
Shark Tours. Thank you so much for coming on. You guys came all the way out from North Shore. Thank you so much. And you guys are huge on Instagram and other social media, right?
I guess so.
I guess. Oh, just 12,000 followers. But you have like your own, Kacey, you have your own kind of social media business going, right?
Yeah.
So how did that get started? And you have your own podcast, and people can go to it. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can check her podcast out also. Really great stuff that you talk about. But I kind of wanted to know where it all got started. Where's your mindset on when you came into this, doing this all for yourself?
Yeah. My mindset that's made me take the jump and start it all.
Totally.
Whew. That goes way, 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 way back.
You can't go that back. You're not that old.
That goes to college. And
it's like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I guess so. It feels a long time ago. I feel like a different person from them. But yeah, I would say multiple experiences that I went through, maybe traumatic experiences, and almost dying in a car accident experiences like that, and kind of having just things not go right and realizing that I wasn't on the correct path that I've always wanted to be on. I guess seeing that and then being so close to like death and seeing that life was so impermanent really was like the catalyst that made me be like, all right, if I really want to do anything with my life, if I want to do these things that I have been dreaming about, now is the time to do it. Like there is no right time. There is no waiting. I was always like, oh, I'll be, there. I'll be then, like in 5 years, it'll be a perfect time. But no, it's right now is the only time, because now is the only time there'll ever be. So that's just kind of what, Did
you get like really injured in this car accident?
No, we didn't. But
thankfully,
we should have.
Lucky.
We should have. So
really lucky.
Yeah, we were in a car accident. Like, drunk driver hit us and crunched the car up right to the back of my seat.
Holy crap!
So it was just like one of those kind of things that your life flashes before your eyes, and you're like, okay, well, angels or something was helping us out there. Like, we're so lucky that we were alive after that. And I think after that experience, it was like, okay, literally any second, anything can happen, So, yeah.
It's like Gary Vee always says, like, you're going to die. Like, today, tomorrow, 30 years from now. So what are you going to do about it? But this, for you guys, it's like, dude, it happened right there. Like, we should have died. We walked away from that. What are we going to do with our lives?
Exactly.
Because prior to this, we're kind of just screwing around kind of thing.
Mm-hmm, pretty much.
Well, yeah. Happens to people all the time.
Yeah.
And they don't even know, Just got to do what you want to do now.
It's like they live like safe lives and they don't realize that, yeah, it's finite, man. You're living on a clock.
Exactly. Yeah.
Every time you drive.
Yeah.
Right.
And in general, just anything. Yeah. It really put life into perspective for sure. So, yeah.
So what did you want to always do? What kind of was the catalyst that gave you that direction? Oh, that was the catalyst, but what was the direction that it pushed you in?
Yeah. I think I always wanted to be a journalist, and I always wanted to be a journalist. I always liked film and creation, photography, content creation, all that stuff, and traveling, and sending a message. And at the time in college, I was studying marine biology, thinking that I was going to do something. Well, my parents wanted me to get into something very science-minded. So I was thinking, okay, what's something that's in the science field that's the most fun that I can see myself in? I was like, oh, on a boat, like marine biology. So I just went for that. But it wasn't really exactly what I saw myself doing. I actually really wanted to write and I really wanted to be a journalist, but I knew that that wasn't a very sustainable career. It wasn't as, I guess, it wasn't enough money in the eyes of my parents or in society. You know, it's not like a hospital position that's like coming from Boston, a lot of my friends are going into the hospital careers, and me being like, I want to just be a journalist and write and travel, like didn't really seem like a realistic idea until I really had no choice but to choose that, because I would have been unhappy with anything else. So from that day, I just
And where are your friends now? Still
it.
living in Boston?
Mm-hmm.
And you're in Hawaii? Like, come on.
It worked out.
Who's living the dream? Really?
It did work out. So
I mean,
yeah,
nothing against Boston.
I'm very
I like
grateful.
The sports,
Cool.
man. I love the Bruins, but you know,
Things happen when you take
yeah,
the
I
jump.
wouldn't have been
Right.
happy
Kacey
staying there. So
showed that.
yeah, I'm pretty grateful that I did all these things and took the jump. It's pretty crazy.
What do your parents think about all that whole jump?
Well, at first they didn't think it was going to work. They, had their doubts, but now they're like, wow, Kacey, like you're living the dream life. My dad's like, I don't know how you manifest these things into your life that like I thought were like fantasy ideas, and now like you're doing them the next day. And I'm like, yeah, it's mindset.
Well, let's talk about that, manifesting, and because you had a whole podcast episode on the law of attraction, and that's something that I prescribe to. What is it called? Yeah. Subscribe to.
Whatever.
I'm an ascriber. I don't know. Subscribe to this episode on YouTube if you haven't yet. But yeah, I dive into that, and I really wholeheartedly believe that if you put it out there to the world, and if you have an idea and aspiration to do something, and you just start writing it down, start thinking about it, then you start talking about it to other people, talking about it to yourself, because I talk to myself all the time, and it really does start to manifest if you continue to do it day after day. Like this whole podcast thing is like, dude, 2 years ago I had nothing. And here I am, the studio and helping to produce other people to produce stuff.
Yeah, it's really the mind first more than anything.
Totally.
And if you can get your mind to be like, I see myself there, then you can like literally just do it. But you have to like convince yourself that you can see yourself doing it. Picture yourself doing this, and be like okay with it. And then start.
Was it hard for you to start that? Manifesting?
Probably always doubts. You just have to kind of ignore your doubts, and because if you dwell on those doubts, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to keep you from progressing.
Right. The whole, like getting rid of the negativity.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I could do this, but this is keeping me from doing it. Or what if this happens if I do this? But that's kind of keeping you farther away from your goal,
That's like the comfort. Like people are comfortable.
Yeah.
And then they don't want to risk something and not be comfortable.
Exactly.
Was it? You have to be uncomfortable to be really comfortable.
Later.
In order to be, you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or in order to live, or in order to look back and be like, I'm glad I accomplished all those things. I'm glad I took the jump. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
getting out of your comfort zone is huge.
Yeah. I think that we still, every day, it's a mindset that you need to, show up for. It's a challenge every day. You got to show up and be that best self and be, you have to, it's sometimes hard because if you picture yourself in this best life and then you're in it, you kind of have to show up every day for it, so you kind of, it's more of like a self-love and self-care experience, I've realized after a long time. Like I've gotten to situations and done things, but then like anxiety or burnout will come, and make me feel like, oh, I'm not worth it. You'll look back and be like, no, I don't think I can do this, blah, blah, blah. And it's more just like, once you're there in it, you just have to continue to like give yourself self-love and give yourself like affirmations and the confidence that you need to continue on, and like tell yourself, I don't know, I like affirmations and mantras and all that kind of stuff. Just like,
well, what works for you?
Me.
Like, yeah, what specifically works for you?
All different things have worked for me, but I guess right now my mantra is love fuels power. So that's something that, yeah, I mean, I've gone through so many different like stages in life with different like mantras, but I guess this is my mantra now, because it's like I'm trying to show that love, like giving yourself love to yourself and giving yourself love to other people and expressing love is power, even though it sometimes doesn't feel like it. Sometimes it feels like you can be seen as less or something if you're caring and loving or something like that, and I'm just recently have been thinking that love is abundance and power, and like that's what the world needs right now. So that's just something that I want to put out, that energy. So love fueling the power all around. It's like
I forget which scientist it was. I don't know if it was Einstein or somebody that said that like love is the outlying, or love is like the underlying power in the world that we haven't really understood yet, and it's tangible.
Yeah,
and it works, but we just don't understand it.
Yeah, and it's like the vibration of like manifesting is like love, and just I don't know, that limitless power and love you have for yourself or other people. That is like that vibration can like create anything to happen. So it's
like the Beach Boys. good vibrations, yeah. Or Marky Mark and that's probably. Yeah, that's probably way older. Sorry, I'm aging myself out there. I like Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
I like them too. Yeah, they're good.
I
know that. Okay,
yeah. I think I was in like 7th grade when that came out or something. That's how old I am. But Cal, do you ascribe to the same kind of things?
Yeah.
Did I say ascribe again? Subscribe.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, I do. Kacey helps me with that for sure. But I've always been big on positive mindsets, good affirmations, writing down what you're grateful for, and like just kind of keeping a good positive mindset on your progress and your path and all that kind of stuff, and just kind of trusting the process and being okay with uncertainty and all that kind of stuff really helps my mindset, helps me be happy in the moment, helps me kind of progress and get things done, but not in too much of a stressful way that it can be if I focus on everything that hasn't been done yet, everything that needs to be done, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Cal's like the yin to my yang. He's the master at like
that's so
being
cute.
In the moment.
That's awesome. Yeah.
he's really good with the flow state. Like he's just can kind of get into something and I don't like, he doesn't need a plan for anything, and I
need some plans, but
not always. He's really good at like being in the present moment and like putting his all in to something, and I'm like a very planning person, and like have to like have the steps and stuff. So he helps me with being more like in the flow, and I'll help him with like writing out a plan.
Organization.
Yeah.
But it all comes together and helps manifest
but
things.
We need both to do it. You need the balance of both. So yeah.
Has that helped you through I guess the past few years when you've been going down this path, is having someone there to help you? Have you guys always been doing this thing together? Compass Travelers and stuff?
For a while it was just Kacey, and she started it. Yeah. But then she's like, hey, you should do it with me. We should make this a teamwork thing, and it's worked out.
Yeah, and we've been together for
helps be
a while.
more effective with 2 people. 2 is better than 1.
Yeah, 2 different perspectives for sure. And we've been together how long?
About 7 years.
What, really?
Yeah, almost.
Oh, I thought you were like putting him on the spot.
6.5. 6.5.
I don't know. We need to keep track.
I thought that was one of those.
We met in
oh,
college.
really? Like, oh
Don't
God,
this
podcast just flipped. Well, that's really good to see that you guys have gone together and down this path. Were you guys in the car accident together?
Mm-hmm.
Is
Yeah.
that what you guys were talking? Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you experienced kind of the same thing, Cal, as Kacey did, with
Yeah.
regards to life flashing before your eyes, and
Mhm.
being like,
Definitely.
yeah, I got to make something out of myself.
Yep. It was like events like that, and I think things that changed my mindset to be more focused on my mindset was events like that, traveling, going to different cultures, getting different perspectives from other people. Because growing up, I grew up right next to where I went to college. Was with the same people all the time. Didn't get that many different.
Where'd you grow up at?
I grew up right outside of Charleston in a place called Mount Pleasant.
South Carolina.
Yep, South Carolina, an awesome place, but it's easy to get stuck there, and it's easy to have one mindset. And
Mhm.
so, getting out, doing different stuff, having moments like a car accident, making you really think about, life and how unpredictable it is. Then it's better to go do it than sit around and think about what you could do.
And it's like, I don't want to advise people to go out and get into a car accident and figure this stuff out.
Yeah.
No, there's safer ways to do it, people.
Yeah, what you got to
but-
do is you got to buy a moped that doesn't work.
Well, yeah, that's more to the story.
Is
but...
there, whoa. You guys are on a no.
Yeah, I bought a moped, pulled over on top of the bridge. Casey pulled over behind me, and then someone hit us behind.
Oh, no.
I was behind him. Yeah.
So you
His
weren't
moped-
even
his moped
driving.
broke down.
We weren't even driving. Yeah, we were pulled over.
We were pulled up. We were stopped. Yeah.
So it was
my
on
fault.
a bridge, and the car flipped. The other car flipped. Ours didn't. But yeah, no.
But that's over and done with.
I honestly feel like when you're young and you're not in your right path, like stuff is shown to you specifically to like make you realize and learn and to get onto your right path, so I feel like any person goes through experiences and trauma and like stuff that they learn from. So any of those experiences are going to be showing them where they should be going and what path they should be taking, so it's going to be different for everyone. Like mine was like the car accident and like other, traumas, but everyone has like their own lessons that they have to learn to eventually understand that they need to go on the right path. And it could take longer than others and shorter than others. I don't know. I think it's just.
Do you believe in signs?
Yeah.
What's like one sign that you've followed?
My intuition always, like whenever I'm very like, I'm very good at listening to my intuition and following my intuition to whatever feels right, because everyone, I feel like if you really think about it, like your first decision is always what you want, So I feel like that, if my intuition is telling me anything, like I will jump on that sign and ride it all around the world if it tells me to.
No, it's like
it can be impulsive, but it's
I look for signs. I don't look for coincidences anymore. I look and see things as a sign.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about doing the podcast, I was at home and there was a school magazine that they mail out to all the parents and stuff like that. And it just has a bunch of stuff about alumni and current students and what they're going through and what they're doing. It's a pretty thick magazine. And I had this thought about doing a podcast. I think I'd talked to it with my wife about it, but I hadn't really dove down into it. And then I'm just talking with the family and pick up this magazine and I thumb through it and open up the magazine. And what do I look at is an article on the school podcasting, starting a podcast at the school. And I was like, well, shit. Like,
there it is.
That's a sign.
Yep.
Like I'm thinking about it. And then I open up this book. I'm not even looking at the book. Open it up to the exact page that is telling me what to do. I was like, boom. Okay, well,
Exactly.
that's my path.
Yep.
It's pretty easy.
It's almost like it tells it, like it's already like laid out and it tells you. You just need to like figure it out. You just need to like push yourself
Gotta follow
or
it,
like have the confidence to follow it more than anything. Yeah.
If you had the mindset that you had doubts about the podcast, then maybe you wouldn't have seen that as a sign, so.
Or,
I
what
feel
a
like-
coincidence. It's like,
Yeah,
no,
oh,
it's not a
this is
coincidence.
like, oh,
That's
that's
a
fine.
sign.
Yeah.
People got to start seeing things as signs for what they are.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, people don't read signs anyways. Like,
No.
stop.
Yield.
All right, so you guys are compass travelers. So let's get into traveling. What's one of the cool places? Why did you guys choose traveling?
I think I've been like, my parents told me of their values of traveling and kind of their regrets of not traveling in some ways too. So I think that was always something on my mind. And you and Kacey, you were always just like, I want to travel, and that influenced me too. I was like, maybe I should travel some more.
Yeah,
That's what
I was always obsessed
and
about
just
traveling.
other places have always fascinated me, and always loved to surf. And there's amazing places to surf and travel, and
It's the best
people
way,
to meet.
Yeah, it's the best way to get out of your bubble and your comfort zone and go see something completely different. Like that's the best way to do it. It's awesome to go to a different culture that's just like it's completely different than what you're used to. It completely challenges all your, what you're raised on and all your ideas of what reality is. So
Yeah, especially as Americans
yeah,
and traveling abroad and going to
Mhm.
see like third world countries and
Mm-hmm.
and just even
How
Western
life could
countries
be, yeah.
that are just different.
Yeah,
Like you see a different way of living.
yeah.
Different time, schedule. In
Yeah.
the United States, everyone's very time oriented.
Different mindsets, different spirituality,
Work-oriented, yeah.
everything. Yeah, I think like Myanmar was like the one place that really like blew my mind on how different reality could be.
Why? Because when I think of Myanmar, I think of as Burma,
yeah, they're in,
and then they like had like a genocide there
Yeah.
years ago.
it's still going on, but it's
Oh my god! And you guys went there?
I went to the southern area. The northern area is where the genocide was going on, but the southern area was very Buddhist, and from what I saw was very peaceful and nice, but just the whole way they lived, everyone, no shoes, wearing longies, and like all the men,
What are longies?
just those long
Same
skirts.
question.
Oh, okay.
It's like long, it's just like a piece of fabric that they fold and they tie up front. And so the men and the women wear these, they're like skirts or dresses.
Mhm.
And no shoes, and they go and pray every day at the temples, and there's temples everywhere. There's these amazing golden beautiful temples everywhere. Everyone has one in their backyard, has a temple, and that's like their morning ritual, is just to go and pray. And then they do it like 3 times a day, and there's like a gong that goes off, and like everyone's praying at these certain times a day, and they're all these different rituals that go along with it. So it's just, and there's a very cool energy there too. Like it's not like America where it's like, oh, look at me, everyone's competing. It's more like we're part of this one kind of thing, but also it's clearly not perfect because there's issues too. But it was totally different from America. It's very cool.
What about you, Cal? Was one of the places you visited that kind of shocked you, good or bad?
There was, a lot of different lifestyles in Central America. We did some traveling in Costa Rica and Nicaragua. Costa Rica obviously is kind of touristy now, but once we got into Nicaragua, it was really amazing to see people that had so little be so happy. We helped out there. We did kind of a little surf trip up the coast, and also did a little bit of a mission trip that helped out kids. Well, helped build a school pretty much. And these people lived in shacks, in muddy shacks, and a horse was their only mean to town. But they were welcoming and happy, and that gave a pretty good perspective of life and how the little things that get us down are really nothing in comparison to what gets someone down that has nothing, So Nicaragua was cool. And then going to a different place, not third world, but just different, like Europe. And I lived in Spain for a little while, and how they, I think, kind of, instead of living to work, they work to live, so they have their job so they can have a nice, relaxing, enjoyable life. But in the United States, it seems like, or in other countries too, not just the US, they see their job as their life. But in Spain, it was not like that at all. And took their siestas in the middle of the day. And
We need siestas.
Yeah,
I know.
we were
Totally.
talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
Like, they're pretty smart with those
Like,
siestas.
come on, guys. If we're talking about, hey, we're following the science says like in the afternoon,
Yeah.
your body just gets tired and just wants to take a nap. Just do it. Like, take a nap. Can I take a nap in my office, please?
Yeah, but here it's like, take a nap, you're lazy.
Right.
No, it
Yeah.
helped with motivation and it helped with mindset for sure.
Right, because you need to rest your brain.
Yeah.
That's what your body is telling you. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's falling asleep.
Gotta listen to it.
Gotta listen to it. I liked what you said about how people in America or people in Spain work to live
Yeah.
and not live to work. Whereas in
Yeah.
America, it's kind of flipped. People think that work is their livelihood and their jobs and everything like that. We're very production oriented here in the United States, right? You want to work long hours and make as much wealth or money as you can to buy crap that you don't really need.
Yeah. Status oriented.
Right,
Too.
just to
Yeah.
show off everybody. Like, you want the newest iPhones. Like,
This is the neighborhood that I live in. Yeah. Because I have this job.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I have this nice car and everything like that. It's like, do you need that nice car? Or you just need a mode of transportation. Like, so
Exactly.
we definitely have that outside look going for us. We want to express our status on everybody else, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Seems like
Nice clothes, nice car, nice watch, nice shoes. Like, people sell shoes for like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I'm like, really? It's a pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I also feel like a lot of people they don't know what to do when they have free time, maybe. Or they're just like, they don't understand their lives. So they are trying to make meaning with their lives, with their job, like they're trying to like make meaning out of life by just like working and being like, yeah, I have $100 pair of shoes. Like, I must be doing life right.
I heard a story from one of my family friends who came back from Tahiti, and he said that when they went to Tahiti and they stayed with a small village, everybody in that village kind of just stopped working and just spent a week with them and
Wow.
taking care of them.
Yeah.
And he was like, I think that's the definition of wealth. Like, they're wealthy.
Mhm.
They can just stop what they're
Time,
doing
free
for a
time.
week, drop everything, and like go to the beach and spend all this time with like friends and family and not do a bit of work.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Yeah.
But they're not like, in the American sense,
They have
wealthy. They don't have a ton of money.
Oh, yeah.
But they have their like what they need,
Right. They
They're-
have the ability to just stop working and still live and still
Yeah.
have a livelihood beyond
Yeah.
that.
That's
Yeah, they
all
have
you
wealth
really need.
on the inside.
Right. They're
Yeah.
wealthy on the inside also. So
Mhm.
I thought that was amazing. I was like, oh man, I want to get to that where I could just
That's
drop
pretty cool.
and stop working. Just
Yeah.
like-
That's the goal. Or feel like you're not working ever. Be playing the whole time.
well, how often do you guys travel?
Lately, not as much, but
COVID.
Right.
try to do a couple big trips a year. And we've been trying to, spend more time in the other islands and stuff too, because the past year or so, more than a year, it's been just a little complicated, to travel around, and which is cool because it gives you, you got to appreciate where you are. So, but coming up, we should be traveling more. And
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of island hopping because it's during COVID because it's easiest. But yeah, I feel like we did most of our travel like 2 years ago. We like did it as much as possible.
yeah, we haven't done a big
And that
trip
was
in a
before
while.
COVID. And
We
I'm
went
so glad we did.
To
but-
California in May. That was our last
Yeah, in Maui.
mainland trip, and
Yeah.
Do you guys ever go to Vegas? Like all the other Hawaii people?
we haven't.
No.
Okay, good.
But I know it's a big.
Not
It's like
really,
it's a
No.
big thing here.
We're looking for something different.
No, it's
when
like
we
I
travel.
promised myself and my family, was like, we're not going to Vegas anymore. I went to UNLV.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean,
Oh,
I know
really?
it, and I've been back a couple of times since, and it's just like, okay, it's there. There's so many other places in the country and in the world we need to take our kids to. So we've been traveling. We took our kids to Japan.
Oh, nice! I want to go
Singapore.
to Japan.
Yeah.
We went into Malaysia for a day, and
That's awesome.
then we went into Canada, went to
Cool.
Vancouver. So I did the Disney tour up to Alaska. So
Oh,
I got to see
wow.
all that. And then 2 years ago, we went to San Jose. Went up north into like the wine country and stuff like that. Got to see the redwoods and stuff like that too.
Cool. Yeah, it's
And then
beautiful
drove down
over there.
drove down to Disneyland and got to do that.
Nice. Yeah. That's
So it's a
awesome.
great experience that you're not going to get in Las Vegas.
For
Like,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop going to Vegas. There's
There's
so
so
many
much
other
of
places.
the U.S. to
Yeah,
visit that I haven't
Right.
done. All national parks and that kind of
Right.
stuff. I haven't done that,
Yeah,
but
even
it's
in
cool.
America,
We
there's
just
so many
kind of
places we
are more
can see.
driven to the ocean.
That's a good.
Yeah.
So like I was looking at your social media and it's all kind of have a blue tinge to it. That's obviously by design, but is it revolve around the ocean? Is that the meaning behind it?
It does. I think it works out. It's a good color for what your design and kind of a favorite color. But I think a reason why we like blue so much is because of the ocean, and we feel a strong connection to the ocean. And it's my favorite thing on Earth. So
it's a pretty big
besides
thing on Earth.
Kacey.
Yeah. Disclaimer.
Yeah.
I fight with the ocean.
Yeah.
First time. Yeah, I would say like light blue and turquoise. I don't know. Those colors have always been super soothing to me, and like I feel like I don't know, my intuition just picked those colors and like had picked Compass as the name and everything. That just like came to me, so it just like came together. And then Cal's theme is like dark blue, and that's like representing of the ocean and all the marine life and sharks and whales and all that. So
sharks.
yeah.
They're out there.
Was that your company's going to be? It's going to be a shark tour company.
Yep.
I had a bad dad joke. It's like, oh, you're giving sharks tours around the island. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes we say that the sharks are looking at us and they're doing human tours.
Well, there's like a dolphin tour out into the ocean where like you get on a boat and it takes you out to go snorkel and stuff with the dolphins, right? And I was talking to my friend who does fishing and stuff out on the west side. I was telling him, hey, do you think the dolphins are like, hey, the human tour is coming. Let's go see the people.
You never know.
Maybe.
Because they're pretty smart.
They're
Yeah.
smart.
Like
Very
it,
smart. Who knows what they're thinking about us? You know, we always wonder that.
And like we think we're so smart that we can go in this one spot that the dolphins always are, but it's probably the other way around. It's like, no, the dolphins are like, hey, the people are being dumped off the boat. Let's go.
Yeah, they're probably like, let's show them here for a second, then let's leave.
Let's go pee in the water right around the.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's true.
What is the future for Compass Travelers? What do you guys see that going? And what is your main goal with that?
Yeah, the main goal that I'm working on right now is really transitioning Compass Travelers from like an online brand, a lifestyle brand, and like travel blog to more of like a professional magazine where we're going to be featuring like-minded people on the magazine. We're going to be featuring like-minded businesses and products and people around the island really that, you know, are into meditation and have similar mindset goals, and that really we can share more inspiration from more perspectives through Compass Traveler magazine. So it can be more than just Cal and I. It can be kind of like a collective community of really awesome people. And yeah, and
like a print magazine or like an online magazine?
Online magazine, probably to start, and then funneling that into retreats and having people meet somewhere and having community places for people to travel to all together and have those same kind of conversations that we have online in person. And and
experiences,
adventure,
that kind of stuff too.
Yeah. And then I've been recently also working on like a product, Follow Your Compass calendar, which is like a daily calendar to inspire people to kind of take the jump in like a more safe way. Like I feel like writing it down like in a calendar and really seeing it kind of like form in your life by like day to day is like something that was really helpful for me to kind of get going on creating things and writing down what we're grateful for and having affirmations. Those are every day. They're going to be in the journal, or they already are in the journal. So that's like, I wanted to share some kind of tools. I have like mindset ebook and like travel guides, and now this calendar / journal that I want to like share with people so they can like have a hands-on experience. I just want to push people as much as possible to go after what their intuition's telling them and take the jump. And
I think that's a great idea. And I want to share my story behind calendars.
Yeah.
So about 8 years ago now, I started a hockey company in Hawaii. So I sell hockey equipment on Amazon from Hawaii to Canada and the United States. So it's I'm doing that. It's crazy. But it started out with a dream. But basically what it came down to is I wanted to invent this product go through the patenting process, and then go through the manufacturing process, and then sell it all over the place. I didn't know exactly how it was going to come to fruition, but I had a calendar, and I just put every day something small to do towards that goal. Even if it was make a phone call or write an email or reach out to this factory or reach out to, or buy this material or buy that material or, do this or do that. Every day was something.
Exactly. Yeah.
And at the end of, I think it was 3 months, I had things manufactured and going. And within another 3 months, we were selling to retailers across the country.
Nice.
I was like, boom, in 6 months. And we were like, how did you do that so fast? I was like, well, I just did something every day. And then once you get those little things out of the way in the beginning, then, a month later, it's like those everyday things become bigger and bigger and bigger things to do. Now you're making a phone call with a supplier. Now you're making a phone call with a retailer. Now you're making a phone call with sponsors and tournament organizations and big name brand companies and stuff like that. It's like, holy crap.
That's cool. And it's not as overwhelming because you have it all.
Yeah, it's not as overwhelming.
Down,
I mean, that's what they teach kids in school. Just chip away at it. Just chip away at it. It's like you have big dream people. You have aspirations. Start by buying a calendar and just write day to day something that you're going to do. Don't do it like the day of. Like plan it out a little bit.
Yeah. Can't do it all one day.
No, can't.
What I really like to do is like have your goal like at the end of the month, like have a big goal, and then every day do like little tiny things you can do to that big goal. And then what you're grateful for is things that you already have in your life that you're grateful for. And then your affirmations are like, I have a successful magazine, or I have, like already believe it. And so every day you're just going towards more and more and more of like, it's already happening. And then by the end of that month, it's like, oh, it's actually happening. And you're like, okay, every single day and all those routines of being grateful. And every night I go to sleep and I just talk about or just think about in my head what I'm grateful for. Like I list off 20 things in my head or more, like fall asleep to that. And I think it's like super changed my brain to just, I don't know, see what I have already in my life and manifest more of it in more abundance, more and more and more of it. So it's just like comes naturally when you're super grateful for what you already have,
All right, let's talk about sharks. Because Cal loves sharks, and he's trying to convince me that, hey, sharks are friendly. They're in the ocean, and I know they're in the ocean, but they're not what people think they are. I was like, dude, I saw Jaws, man. I've seen people get bit.
Yep.
And there was that one shark not too long ago that came up to the shore in like Kailua and bit someone, right? It's like a smaller shark. Anyways, but they are important to the ecology of the ocean. And people do hunt them and kill them, and they are, seen as a very negative aspect, even though they are part of the ocean. They're like bears. Like you need bears, like wolves too. You need wolves. Like
keystone species.
Right. You can't kill them off. You can't just humanize the entire territory and like try to push them out. You go into their territory, they're gonna maybe avoid you, maybe attack you. I don't know. But you want to swim with sharks, and you want people to swim with sharks.
Yeah.
That's your passion.
It is. The ocean, all the animals in it, especially sharks. Yeah.
Why?
It's
boy from South Carolina coming over here and saying sharks.
Yeah. So I've always been fascinated with sharks, and just, they're apex predators. So a big, charismatic animal. People love tigers and lions and big land animals, things like that too. And so sharks kind of grabbed my fascination through that too. But then learning more throughout school, being a marine biologist, learning their importance in the ocean gave me even more of a connection with them. And then when I started swimming with them and spending time in the water with them, it added to the connection and to my passion for them. And that's when you're in the water with them, they don't give you anything that the media portrays towards sharks as being out to get you, aggressive. As soon as they see meat, they're bloodthirsty, all of that kind of stuff. It's just completely exaggerated. So my passion has grown for each of those reasons. And I kind of feel like I have the ability to teach people about sharks, so I should do it. Feel obligated to teach people about the importance of sharks, their true nature, and how they do keep our oceans healthy.
Well, what's it like swimming with the sharks? And what kind of sharks are we talking about?
So the sharks that we swim with most frequently, the most common species are Galapagos sharks. And so a shark that someone might know that is related to the Galapagos sharks is a bull shark. We hear of bull shark attacks. The Galapagos is kind of like a skinnier version of the bull shark.
Okay, so faster.
Yeah. They can get up to 10, 12 feet, like, so decent size, but very docile. I think a really smart shark. We also swim with sandbar sharks, much smaller, faster swimming, and then tiger sharks, which is my favorite. A lot of people who swim with sharks as their job or take people out, the tiger sharks are something special just because of their size and their presence and the actual, like, the calming feeling that you actually can get when swimming around big, powerful predators that are kind of just sharing this. They're sharing the space with you. They're sharing their home. Like, if humans are worse, if another thing came into your house, most humans will kick it out and hurt it.
So, like, how do you know the shark doesn't want to eat someone?
We're just not on their menu. They're not after it. They know that we are another predator. Something that would be too dangerous for them to go after. The Galapagos especially, their diets are very small things like crabs, crustaceans, rays, things like that. And sharks are smart. They know what they want, and what they want is going to be something that's not going to hurt them in the process. So they're smart, and they know that coming up to us could potentially damage their eyesight, their nose, things like that. So they're not interested in us at all, really.
So how is it that, or what's the explanation of when sharks do happen to attack people? Is it because they confuse them with something else?
Yeah, almost always it's a confusion or it's a provoked thing where a human is somewhere they're not supposed to be, say in really murky water or turbulent water where the prey of another shark, like a shark's prey, is in the same area and it gets confused. So say a bodyboarder in murky water, a tiger shark mistakes it for a turtle because that's their main diet, in Hawaii especially.
Turtles.
So that kind of stuff. Yeah, turtles.
Okay.
So turtles, murky water, and just murky water in general, you want to steer clear of.
Okay. So if you're out there snorkeling and you see turtles snorkeling around or, swimming around there, good, not good, get out of there?
Good, because, turtles are another sign of a healthy ecosystem, and they're great to observe in the water.
Yeah.
And if
I was
you
just
can
out
see
on
the turtles,
boogie boarding, and there were turtles out there. So it's like, if there are turtles out there, are there likely to be sharks there too, or no? If they're just kind of chilling.
The sharks are there. They won't let you see them most of the time. They're smart enough to know.
That doesn't help my psyche, man.
I know. I just don't want to. I'm not gonna lie and say, there's no sharks there.
But they're mostly in deeper waters usually.
It depends on the species. There's sharks everywhere, shallow, deep. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
So like,
nice try, Casey.
Yeah, it makes Casey feel better. There's sharks over here. Nah, there's none.
I used to be super scared.
Yeah,
of
my
sharks.
kids aren't going to listen to this episode.
Oh yeah, there's really not that many in the shallow water, and the ones that are really safe, like the reef sharks, the white tip reef sharks, that kind of stuff. So, you're generally safe in Hawaiian waters, and especially if it's important to be knowledgeable and educated on shark safety. So
what is that? Like, how you talked about they attack when provoked. Okay, how do you know if you're provoking one? If you're kind of just swimming in the ocean,
just being unaware of your surroundings and being in things like that, like murky water, river mouths, stuff where say, a shark is probably, this seems like a sharky place. You can get the feeling. But say you're surfing, if you're more aware, doing more turns, looking around, that kind of stuff is going to show a big apex predator that you're aware, and they're not going to want to mess with that.
So kind of acting like an apex predator yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Like showing, because that's exactly how we act in the water when we swim with them. We show them that we are aware, because eye contact alone will steer them away. So just
Wow, I didn't know
being
that.
really aware of your surroundings is extremely important, because an apex predator, a lot of the time, especially with sharks, they're not going to face their prey if they know they're coming, So as long as you're aware and you put yourself in the right positions, you're safe.
Yeah, one of my friends is a spear fisher guy, and he said that when he sees sharks and they're kind of circling him and everything, he swims at them.
Yep,
Yep,
exactly.
so way
He
to
goes
go.
right at them.
Yeah, you
they
have to
kinda
show
swim
that
away.
you're dominant, kind of. And like when you stare at them, they get really afraid. They're more afraid of you than you are of them. So
Generally, yeah, it seems cliche, but they are more afraid of us.
So kind of treat them like wolves,
Yeah, you have to treat them
or
as
like wild
apex
cats,
predators.
That's what I like.
wildcats.
I'm more afraid of cats than sharks, but
But like if you put your
I don't
hand
know,
out,
man.
they'll run away. They're
Oh,
scared.
okay.
They're scared. Yeah.
Like mountain lions will jump out of a tree and just attack you.
yeah, for real.
Mountain
So,
lions are probably a lot more confident than sharks. Sharks are not very confident, I would say.
they also know that they're opportunists. So an easy meal is 100 times better than something that they have to work for.
Sure.
Yeah.
So something that's dead or dying or struggling, they have the strongest senses out of any animals in the world. So they use all of their senses to make sure what they're going after is what they want to. And when a mistake happens, it is genuinely a mistake. They're not going to say, "Oh, look at one of those humans. I'm going to go after that," because most of the attacks in Hawaii are tiger shark attacks, and they have low eyesight. They have bad eyesight, and they do something called.
Well, how do they know you're looking right at them?
It's not that bad.
Okay.
But yeah, bad eyesight, and they
Murky
take
water, bad
investigatory bites. So they're kind of just like, oh,
Well, that doesn't help.
yeah.
When it's
Well, I can't.
when it's clear water, like they
Sample. We call that sample
That's
in
the
Hawaii.
best.
Yeah.
They like
Free sample. Yeah.
when it's clear water, they can see you and they know what
Mhm.
you are. They're like, okay, we understand.
And this is
But
generally,
when it's
this
murky,
is all general.
like they can't see as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can't just in the ocean, in science, you can't say this is what happens every single time.
Sure.
It's most of the time, generally, all that kind of stuff. So knowing that there is factors that come into making shark attacks and shark encounters more likely, you have to know that you're in the ocean, you're in their space,
Mhm.
so you have to respect that. And if you respect that, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, a lot of mainlanders, it's the same thing as like going into the forest and dealing with bears.
Yeah.
It's like when we went to Vancouver, people were like, oh yeah, there's bears all over the place. I'm like, what? Bears?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the same
Bears?
thing.
It's like, yeah, there's bear poop right there. There's bear poop over there. I'm like, fuck, let's get out of here. It's like, no, dude, they're just there. They're just going to run away.
Yeah. And that's something
Yeah.
I'd have to get used to too. But
Right. It's like, I was
but
totally not
now
used to
that I'm-
that. I'm like, good.
yeah.
Like all the garbage cans and stuff like had bear lids on
Yeah.
them so the bears couldn't get into
Yeah.
it. Like, this is nuts.
That's
Yep.
cool.
But it's not the bear's fault, We put
not.
we
We were totally in the
we
woods.
put them there, so you just have to realize that we're in their spot,
Yeah.
so we have to learn how to respect them and to be safe around them. And that's what I love teaching to people is how to be safer, how to have a different mindset about this. Be like, okay, this shark swimming in the water is not a jaw shark that's gonna chase me down for days. It's just there because it's interested in something around there, and we're observing it, and that's all it is. It's not out to get us.
Yeah, Jaws.
We're there.
Jaws had like a mental illness.
Yeah, that was not a
He was
real
off his
life
medication or something.
Yeah, it was. It had some issues.
Not true. of a
I wonder,
real
like, if
shark.
Jaws was never created, or all the scary Sharknado, 47 meters down, those kind of movies, what would people's perspective on sharks be? Because I know in Hawaii, like the mono, the sharks,
Mhm.
it's part of their culture. They respect it very deeply, and it's interesting to see people how like differently someone can perceive an animal or a thing. In some cultures, something can be evil, and then in another culture, it's it's beautiful.
Mhm.
It's something like that. So
Yeah, like they make in certain like cartoon movies and stuff like a hippo out to be like this fun, fancy.
right.
And
Go
it's
get
way
'em.
more dangerous.
And hippos
yeah.
are totally dangerous. Hippos
Yeah.
kill more people than any other land animal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think
Like
so.
by far, they don't give an F. They kill all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they're aggressive. Yeah.
They're insane.
Yeah.
Hippos suck. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
see a hippo, I'm running. I
Same.
don't care if they're flipping their ears yet or not. I'm like, nope.
But
Yeah,
it's
and a
pr-
cow can be like sacred in India, and then here it's a burger, only seen as like a fast food thing.
Oh, yeah,
you
but
know?
it tastes really,
But
really
then like
good.
it's sacred in India. It's like they like love the cow.
And some places will eat dogs.
yeah.
So,
So
Or sharks.
or
it's all
sharks.
in the mind.
Yeah.
What we're making.
I mean, do you think sharks should be like, I guess, harvested for food at all, or no?
I don't think they should. There's some cultures in some places that it's their only option. So that's a tricky situation
Well,
when
that's different. With the only
it's totally
option.
different.
It's
But
like-
if it's a delicacy,
Yeah.
no.
No.
Like shark fin soup is a big killer. It kills millions of sharks every
right,
year.
because they don't even take the whole shark. They
no,
just cut the
they
fins.
cut the fin off and throw the shark in and let it suffer, or they keep it and
Yeah, it's totally
use it
disgusting.
for other things. And the fin's not even for flavor; it's for texture. It's that cartilage that's in the fin that they put in chicken or beef broth, and they call it shark fin soup,
Yeah,
and make it a delicacy and make it expensive. So therefore, make a big demand for it and killing lots of sharks. And shark meat, some people who can do it right for certain types of sharks can make it bearable, but most shark meat is really not good to eat at all because most sharks don't have a urinary tract, so they excrete their urine through their skin. So their meat will have lots of urea. It's gonna you have to like drain it.
that will turn me
Yeah.
off from shark fin soup alone. Right
Yep,
there.
there you go.
Sharks don't pee; they pee out their skin. It's like,
Yep.
okay, we learned something today. Wow, I did not know that. I think my sons were asking me about fishes the other day if they pee in the ocean. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think they need to pee or drink.
Some fish do, some fish don't. It's different, but most sharks excrete it through their skin. It's pretty wild.
So when you're touching their skin, you're actually like, ew.
Yeah,
Well, I guess
But
it's
I
more
feel
like
like our-
sweat.
yeah. Our urine's probably more gross than fish urine, I would say. I don't know.
What?
I don't know. It all gets mixed into the ocean sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all drinking it anyways.
Are there any of those those shark tools or shark what are those called? Things that avoid sharks?
Deterrents.
Deterrents,
yeah.
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 Do any of those work? Or do you guys utilize
Some
anything
do.
like that?
We don't use anything like that because it's almost like a sensory overload is what those deterrents are giving. A lot of time they use strong magnets that kind of activate their ampullae of Lorenzini, which is their electromagnetic receptors on their nose.
Yeah.
So it's like they get close and then it's like a sensory overload. So we don't use that because we don't know if it's harming them, if it's bothering them, if it's changing their behaviors, stuff like that. And also we don't want to rely on a piece of equipment for the safety of everyone. You know, we want to make sure that it's what we're doing is it's safe and done in a way that we don't need instruments that are used for shark deterrents. But I think in some cases, in surfing, some other maybe long distance swimmers, it could be useful. But in my opinion, I don't think I'll ever use one just because of those reasons. But some of them are good inventions, and I've seen proof of them working, which is interesting because we do need better alternatives for deterring sharks, which that's pretty non-invasive. So
Right.
They can be
'cause,
cool.
like when the tiger shark attacks someone, all the fishermen go out and try to catch it,
yeah,
and kill it.
yep. And the news will talk about that shark attack for months and make it seem like many shark attacks or stuff like that. And in Australia, they put up big nets in the water and it ends up killing the sharks, killing other animals. So,
Yeah, I've seen those.
so little shark deterrents like that, they could be useful. But I don't think there's a ton of research on it yet. So it's like, it's one of those things like, does it work? Does it not work? We don't really know yet.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. As we wind down here, any last words for the audience, Kacey, Cal?
Follow your compass.
Follow your dreams. Just do it.
That's
Follow
a
your
t-shirt.
intuition. Follow your inner compass. Yeah.
Yep. What you're thinking about, just do it and it'll work out.
Yeah. Take
Trust the
jump.
process.
Yeah. And if you ever need any guidance, I'm always here to help people. Like, I have been there, done that. So yeah, if anyone's listening and needs some guidance, always feel free to reach out to us.
Like spiritual guidance,
Any
mental health.
guidance, mental health, spiritual, anything.
directions.
Yeah.
Google Maps.
Yeah, where they want to go in life. They don't know what their purpose is. I
Yelp
have people always
reviews.
asking that.
Wine Springs Water.
got it
Check
all.
out- All right,
Cool.
it's so great to meet you guys. Thank
This
you
is
so much for
awesome.
coming on Hawaii Real. And I look forward to collaborating with you guys on something else in the future. Let's get something going.
For sure.
And yeah, I might take a dive with the sharks eventually.
Got it.
Yes.
You will. You'll love it. Thanks
That's
for having
awesome.
us. Yeah.
All right, everybody. The Compass Travelers, Kacey and Cal. And as always, stay happy, Hawaii.
Aloha.
All right.
We out.